In today's society, where approximately 85% of people are driven by the need for external validation, Sigma males represent a rare and compelling contrast. Most individuals shape their lives around what will be socially approved, choosing career paths that earn admiration, buying cars or clothes to impress others, or even dining at restaurants just to post a stylish photo on social media. But Sigma males reject this pattern. They don't chase applause or adjust their behavior to match expectations. Instead, they operate with kind of quiet defiance, making decisions rooted in internal logic, not societal trends. To the average observer, their actions can seem confusing, even irrational. A Sigma male might turn down a high-paying job to pursue a quieter, purpose-driven path. He might avoid flashy purchases or skip trendy social events entirely. These behaviors often come across as odd or antisocial, but in reality, they reflect a powerful inner clarity. Sigma males assign value based on authenticity rather than popularity. They notice details others overlook. They invest in meaning, not image. What may appear as eccentricity is, in fact, a strategy. Each unconventional habit has a psychological purpose, allowing Sigma males to sidestep the traps of conformity and stay several steps ahead of the curve. These traits allow them to think independently, adapt quickly, and make smarter long-term decisions. In a world obsessed with fitting in, their refusal to follow the crowd becomes a surprising advantage. This exploration uncovers 6 such unusual behaviors, highlighting how they empower Sigma males to outthink, outmaneuver, and ultimately outperform the masses. 1. Embracing confusion over false certainty. In group settings, many people fear one thing more than being wrong: looking foolish. It's common to encounter situations where someone doesn't fully understand what's being discussed but chooses to stay silent. Whether in classrooms, boardrooms, or casual conversations, the pressure to blend in overrides the instinct to question. People nod along, feigning comprehension, because challenging the status quo could lead to embarrassment or isolation. The fear of standing out outweighs the fear of being mistaken, especially when everyone else seems confident. But Sigma males operate by a different rulebook. They value clarity over conformity. If something doesn't make sense, they won't pretend otherwise. Instead of nodding in agreement just to maintain social harmony, they'll raise a hand, ask the awkward question, or challenge the flawed assumption. This isn't arrogance. It's intellectual integrity. Psychologists refer to this tendency as having a low need for cognitive closure, the ability to resist the urge for immediate answers and tolerate mental ambiguity until truth emerges. This trait gives Sigma males a distinct long-term advantage. While others race toward premature conclusions to the comfort of false certainty, Sigma males patiently navigate the discomfort of confusion. Their willingness to question, to sit with uncertainty, leads them to spot gaps, inconsistencies, or errors that the majority overlooks. In the short term, they may seem slow to commit, but in the long run, they build a foundation of deeper understanding. They would rather wrestle with confusion today than realize years later that they followed a flawed path simply because it was a popular one. 2. Emotional detachment for clearer thinking. In high-pressure situations, most people find their thinking hijacked by emotion. When stakes are high, whether it's making a career move, ending a relationship, or navigating family drama, judgment often becomes clouded. Emotional overload kicks in. The influence of family expectations, peer pressure, or fear of failure creeps into the decision-making process, making it harder to think clearly. Many believe that staying emotionally involved is a sign of care and commitment. But in truth, emotional entanglement often leads to poor decisions, irrational choices, and long-term regret. Sigma males handle these moments differently. They apply a mental strategy that gives them a unique edge: emotional detachment. This doesn't mean they're cold or unfeeling. Rather, they create a deliberate gap between their emotions and their decisions. Instead of allowing panic, guilt, or attachment to take control, Sigma males observe these feelings without becoming consumed by them. This mental distance gives them a wider lens to assess the situation objectively and rationally, free from the noise of emotional interference. Science supports this approach. Studies in psychology and neuroscience have shown that heightened emotional arousal tends to narrow a person's focus, causing tunnel vision and reactive thinking. In contrast, calm and emotionally regulated individuals can access broader cognitive resources, consider more options, and anticipate outcomes more accurately. Sigma males intuitively operate in this zone. While others react impulsively, they pause and assess. This ability to remain composed under stress not only reduces errors, but also enhances their strategic thinking, allowing them to navigate complex situations with clarity, efficiency, and precision. 3. Replaying conversations for hidden insights. For most people, conversations are fleeting experiences. Once the dialogue ends, they retain a general impression and move on with their day. Unless the exchange was particularly emotional or confrontational, they don't dwell on the details. The focus tends to remain on what was said, not how it was said or what might have been implied. Subtleties like tone, body language, or word choice often go unnoticed, filed away as background noise rather than meaningful data. But Sigma males approach conversations with a different mindset. To them, an interaction doesn't end when the talking stops. It begins a new phase, silent analysis. They routinely replay important conversations in their minds, especially those involving people they admire, question, or find psychologically intriguing. They don't do this out of anxiety or insecurity. It's not about second-guessing themselves. It's about decoding patterns. Sigma males observe not just the content of speech, but the delivery. A pause before an answer, a shift in eye contact, a subtle change in tone, or an offhand comment that didn't quite match the context. This quiet post-conversation analysis yields powerful insights. By examining what was said and what wasn't, they often detect underlying motives, emotional shifts, or contradictions others completely overlook. Over time, this habit builds an almost intuitive understanding of human nature. They become skilled at identifying authenticity, detecting deception, and anticipating people's behavior before it fully unfolds. What seems like casual conversation to others becomes valuable data to the Sigma male. It's this reflective habit that strengthens their emotional intelligence and deepens their social awareness, giving them an edge in relationships, negotiations, and leadership alike. 4. Learning through observation, not just theory. In the modern age of information, many people approach learning by diving headfirst into theory. They consume a flood of self-help books, motivational podcasts, TED Talks, and online courses, accumulating facts, models, and advice from experts. While this can offer valuable frameworks, it often leads to a kind of intellectual overload. People end up knowing a lot about success, relationships, or discipline, but freeze when it's time to act. This is a trap of paralysis by analysis, possessing knowledge without the ability to apply it in real life. Sigma males take a fundamentally different approach. They value first-hand learning over theoretical understanding. Rather than relying solely on second-hand wisdom, they prefer to study the world around them directly. They observe human behavior with surgical precision, catching the small things others miss, like the micro-expressions during an argument, the shift in body language in tense moments, or the hesitation before a lie. Every real-world encounter becomes a lesson. This practical, experience-based learning develops a type of street-smart intuition that books alone can't provide. But Sigma males don't stop at observing others. They also turn that lens inward. They analyze their own behavior with quiet honesty, without judgment or the need for external approval. They reflect on how they react to pressure, what triggers their emotions, where they succeed, and where they stumble. This habit of self-observation builds deep self-awareness, which is one of their most powerful tools for growth. Instead of following checklists from gurus, they trust their lived experience, shaping their worldview not from theories, but from patterns they've personally seen, tested, and internalized. 5. Over-preparing for the unpredictable. Most people move through life with an optimistic bias, assuming things will go smoothly. They rarely account for what could go wrong, and when challenges do appear, they scramble to respond. This wing-it mentality is rooted in the belief that they'll somehow manage to figure things out in the moment. While this casual confidence can sometimes work, it often leads to unnecessary stress, poor decision-making, and missed opportunities when reality doesn't align with expectations. Sigma males reject this laissez-faire approach. Instead, they operate with a contingency mindset, a habit of mentally and practically preparing for a range of outcomes. They create backup plans, not because they're pessimistic or afraid, but because they refuse to be caught off guard. To the Sigma, being unprepared is a vulnerability. They derive a sense of quiet control from knowing that if plan A fails, there's a well-considered plan B, or even a plan C, ready to go. This isn't rooted in anxiety. It's grounded in strategic foresight and self-reliance. The benefit of this mindset goes beyond just being ready for trouble. The act of preparing for the unexpected strengthens their mental flexibility. Even if the precise challenge they prepared for never materializes, the mental exercise of anticipating variables sharpens their thinking. It trains them to stay calm when others panic. It gives them an edge in high-pressure environments because they've already played out potential failures and know how to respond. In essence, Sigma males don't just prepare to survive the unpredictable, they prepare to dominate it. 6. Asking questions that reveal the truth. In everyday interactions, most people remain within the boundaries of surface-level conversation. Small talk is a norm, safe, familiar, and carefully scripted to maintain comfort and avoid friction. Questions like how's work or what have you been up to dominate the dialogue, offering little more than polite exchanges. People instinctively steer away from anything too personal or revealing, fearing it might disrupt the social flow or expose vulnerabilities. While this keeps interaction smooth, it also keeps them shallow, leaving truth and authenticity hidden beneath rehearsed responses. Sigma males, however, are not interested in maintaining social decorum for its own sake. Their approach to conversation is radically different. Rather than coasting on predictable dialogue, they ask questions that go deeper. Questions that challenge people to reveal what they truly think, feel, or believe. These aren't confrontational or invasive questions, but they're deliberate and thoughtful. Sigma males have a keen sense for inconsistencies and emotional shifts, and they're not afraid to gently explore them. If something doesn't add up, they'll dig. Not out of suspicion, but from a genuine desire to understand what lies beneath the surface. This habit of deep inquiry gives them an extraordinary advantage. By refusing to accept polished, socially acceptable answers, Sigma males break through the masks people wear. They learn what motivates others, what they fear, and what they're hiding, often without the other person realizing how much they've revealed. It's a skill rooted in emotional intelligence and observation, allowing Sigma males to navigate relationships, negotiations, and social dynamics with uncommon precision. While others are content with polite allusions, Sigma males are quietly uncovering truths and building connections grounded in authenticity, not performance. Conclusion: the Sigma male's unseen edge. Sigma males often stand out, not because they seek attention, but because their behavior runs counter to what society deems normal. To many, they may seem eccentric, antisocial, or simply weird. But beneath this misunderstood exterior lies a deliberate, well-calibrated strategy for navigating a world that rewards conformity and surface-level thinking. Sigma males are not rebels for the sake of rebellion. They are thinkers and observers, constantly adapting to a system they see more clearly than most. Rather than rushing to appear knowledgeable, they embrace confusion and use it as a gateway to deeper understanding. Instead of reacting emotionally, they create mental space to think clearly and make rational choices. Where others forget conversations a moment they end, Sigma males replay them, searching for hidden truths in body language, word choice, and silence. While many rely on theoretical knowledge, Sigma males learn by watching real-life patterns unfold, both in others and within themselves. Their preparation for uncertainty isn't rooted in fear, but in foresight, and their questions aren't meant to provoke, but to reveal what's real beneath the scripted masks people wear. Each of these traits may seem subtle or even invisible to the casual observer, but together they form a powerful edge. The Sigma male strength doesn't lie in dominance or loud confidence. It lies in quiet precision, in thinking differently when everyone else follows the crowd. In a world obsessed with external approval and social scripts, the ability to remain independent in thought and action is not just rare, it's transformative. That's the unseen edge of the Sigma male. His refusal to conform becomes the very thing that sets him apart and ultimately ahead. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.